Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Guna and our show The Roaring Gunners from the City of Joy with Saradi from the Arsenal Bengal official supporters group. Hey bro, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. Not overwhelmed, but good. I actually went on to watch your Gujarat playing Rajasthan today as well.
I
So
saw it on
it's
TV.
been
It
good,
looked
a good,
amazing.
good last couple of days for me. Yeah.
It looked like an amazing atmosphere on the TV. Stadium was sold out, and yeah, it was great to see that because a lot of the IPL has been played with reduced crowds, isn't it? And with all this COVID stuff,
Yeah,
crowd.
absolutely. COVID has taken a huge toll on all of sporting, arenas and all. People have been so long, watching their favorite teams, behind the TV and all. They haven't been allowed in the field. But it's been the first match in Kolkata, in our state, in our city, a long time since I think 2019. This is the first match in Kolkata, IPL match in Kolkata. So yeah, people really enjoyed, and yeah, it showed. I think you could see the full house in Indian, and it was roaring like the decibel was so high out there, and in the end, your team deserved winners as well. David Miller, three, huge sixes, and I was thinking maybe it was a bit tough because Prashit Krishna was bowling the last over is a decent bowler. He bowls those Yorkers pretty well, but he kind of fluffed today, and yeah, deserved winners, you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy. First IPL for us, and we're making it to the final. The finals in our state, Ahmedabad in Gujarat. So hopefully we can now go on to win it. We performed really well because when you look at our team on paper, we weren't one of the favourites going into the tournament, but we've just done so well. A lot of players, like you said, David Miller there, he's had a great season. Hardik Pandya. We got Rashid today. The way Rashid Khan was bowling, 4 overs for 15 runs.
Yeah,
That
he's
makes
a match winner.
that makes the difference because if he
And he will win you in any ways, either by scoring runs, either by taking wickets, or this time, by bowling economically. So definitely a champion player to have in your kitty.
Yeah, so looking forward to the final on Sunday. Unfortunately, though, in the football, we didn't manage to make it into the top 4. Norwich couldn't do that miracle that we were hoping for. It was highly unlikely. We knew that. But yeah, they got beaten very easily by Tottenham 5-0. We took care of our business. It was a good performance, beat Everton 5-1. It's been a while since we've thrashed someone. So it was nice to see that, see us get a lot of goals. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. We missed out by 2 points. It's tough when it's so close. Just 2 points. We just need one more win in the season and we would have finished in the top 4. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the Everton match?
Yeah, it was a good performance. It was exactly what the people deserved. It was exactly what the home crowd wanted, and we finished off in a high. But we've been finishing off in a high for some time now, but we haven't got the job done. I think again it showed that whenever there is no pressure, they have the complete freedom. They can show, and they can come up with this kind of performances. But when it mattered, we didn't show a medal. So that's a bit disappointment. But I wasn't gonna be dissecting too much into that. I thought the players did well in the final game. I think Everton still, they were also, they were safe, so they were kind of playing with the foot of the pedal as well. But and we took advantage of that when we scored some decent goals. I think especially the third goal of Cedric, and also the way Odegaard also finished. So there are certain things that we must acknowledge and we must admire. But at the end of the day, it's a huge disappointment, man. At the end of the day, missing top 4, when we had a lot of hope going into the final 3 or 4 games that we are going to make it, even all after all those, seesaw and ups and downs we were thinking, but yeah, we haven't got it. So it's a disappointment, but hopefully we can, come back stronger next season, because it shows that these players, these youngsters, the players that we have, we lost more than 33% of our games, and we still just 2 points out of top 4. So it shows that these players have the ability, and with the perfect coaching and with the perfect senior players around them who can rally them forward, and with some experienced players who can grind out results at the time that when we need. I think the future may well be bright in the next couple of seasons. But in terms of the Everton match, if you say, I'm very happy with the result, but a bit disappointed with the way that our season panned out at the end.
Yeah, it was a really deflated feeling on the Sunday. Normally, you'd be after a game winning 5-1, everyone would be really happy. But all right, happy to see our team win so well. But knowing that Tottenham finished ahead of us, that was painful to take. Missing out on the Champions League again. It's been 6 years now. We are back in Europe though, so we got Europa League. So if we look at the season as a whole, how would you rate our season? What mark would you give us out of 10?
I think with the way we started our season and the players that we had, even after the additions of the likes of Ramsdale, White, and the likes of players that we had, Odegaard and all, I think we did well. I think if, after the first 3 defeats, and then again we had some crucial injuries as well, the likes of Tierney and Partey come in and out, all these things. Partey at the end, I think it was a telling blow for us, his injury at the end. Also Tomiyasu as well. So I will say that in terms of a season, if I have to rate, I'm gonna give it a 6.5, maybe a 7, 6.5. I will stick with 6.5 maybe, because the Champions League would have been 7, 8 for sure. But no 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 actually. I'm gonna give it a 7 because the way the squad depth that we had, the youngsters that we have had, I think Arteta has done a commendable job, to take us this far. But I think again, it shows that if the inexperience of the manager, because had he went on to, add a bit more, another player or two in the January transfer window, maybe we'd have been in the Champions League this season. So again, so in terms of that, disappointed, but I'm gonna give 7 out of 10 for us this season.
Okay, so who would you give player of the season?
I think my player of the season, it's a tough choice, but I'm gonna go with it's a very tough choice. I think I want to choose Gabriel, but along with that, I think Saka has done well as well. Yeah, I think Saka. I'm gonna go with Saka. Bukayo Saka yet again. I thought Gabriel was superb as well. I think Gabriel had a good season. Although he was, erratic in some matches, but overall he had a decent season. Ramsdale, obviously, as we know, he was superb in the early stages of the season, but still, I think in the second half of the season he would have done a bit better. But I'm gonna go with Bukayo Saka as a player of the season.
Okay, and who's your signing of the season?
I think it's again a tough choice because we made 6 signings, I think, this season, along with Odegaard, Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, White, Tavares, and who's the other one?
Lokonga.
So apart from Lokonga and Tavares, I think all the 4 players did decently in bits and pieces. But if I have to choose one player among the 4, I'm gonna go with Martin Odegaard. Ramsdale was superb. Make no mistake, but he was still. I think he still has to improve a bit. But Martin Odegaard, I think, midfield, gliding, and he was superb. So I'm gonna go with Martin Odegaard as a signing of the season.
Okay, so looking ahead now, I'm not going to talk too much about the transfer window and players to bring in. We'll leave that for our next show, look at it in more detail then. But what I did want to ask you now, though, is what is your minimum expectation and requirement from us to achieve next season?
I think it shows, because the next season, if we are going the team that we have now, we know that the certain players that we have to, let go and certain players we have to bring in. And if we execute our plans in the summer transfer window, I think next season, I want to see us, at least fighting for the top 4, not fighting, getting top 4. Getting top 4 for sure. Getting top 4 is massive and very important now next season. And maybe win the Europa League. I think winning Europa League will be huge for us. That will be our first European trophy in some 3 decades or so. So I think winning Europa League and getting top 4 will be a main aim. So that is my obvious, target next season. That what I'll be expecting, and doing decent in the cup in the domestic cup competitions as well. So maybe get one of the domestic cup then maybe getting one of the domestic cups, either Carling Cup or FA Cup, and winning the Europa League along with that top four. I think that should be the bare minimum that we'll be expecting, because given the players that we have and given the signings that we are promised, if we can execute those plans.
Okay, it's gonna be interesting. Big summer transfer window coming up. As I said, we'll talk about that more on the next show. And looking forward to next season. Hopefully, we can build on this season. We have improved. Right, we're not where we want to be in the top 4, but from 8th, we've finished 5th this time. So we are heading in the right direction. So let's talk now about a crazy title race. That last game for Man City, I just cannot believe what was going on there. 2-0 down, 20 minutes to go. Looks like the title's slipping out of their hands. They come back, score 3 goals in 5 minutes. Got to give it to them. What a performance, what a turnaround. Ended up finishing 3-2, which was the same score when they beat QPR to win that title years ago. That went down to the last day as well. What are your thoughts on the title race and how it all finished?
I think City, they wanted to give a tribute to Aguero. That is all I can think about, because Aguero, as we know, they left City, a season earlier, and they wanted maybe to reignite the memory of that title victory a bit, because I think the way Aston Villa was playing was superb, because City, I don't think City had enough chances in the first half. And when it was like 2-0, so I almost thought that maybe this is not the year that they're going to make it. Even Jack Grealish, in his post-match interview on Sky said so, and everybody was thinking the same. And then, this is the character of a champion team. If they're in the mud, they know how to get out of it. The goal scorer, and look, the goal scorers, Ilkay Gundogan scored 2, and Rodri scored 1. 2 midfielders, none of the strikers or wingers scored 1. 2 of the midfielders stepped up and scored. This is all about the quality that they have. You have to admire that hands down, because even Liverpool supporters, I think, midway in the 70th minute when Aston Villa went up, I was also, simultaneously watching both the games. Actually 3 matches were going on my screen at that moment of time. So I thought people in Anfield, where they were just, pumping chests, and they were thinking, yeah, we can if we nick one, we're going to win it. They nicked one. And when they nicked one, City had already scored 3. So that is the beauty of a quality team. And that is the privilege. That is the luxury that you get when you have some terrific players in your squad. And the quality paid off at the end, because, if we see the way Manchester City has played this season, they haven't been the best, but they have, bailed them out in difficult situations, just either because of individual brilliance or because of their collective brilliance. And those can only come if you have collective brilliance in your team, and if you have top-notch players. They do have top-notch players, and they kind of, saved them at the end. So yeah, it was nerve-wracking. It was disappointing in the end for the Scousers, but I think Manchester City, if we see the proceedings of the season, I think they are the deserved champions.
Yeah, so Liverpool missed out in that one. If they won that, they'll be on for the quadruple, which would have been a big deal. Never been done before, but they missed out on that. They still got a chance for the treble though, against Real Madrid, Champions League final coming up this weekend. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it will be a tough game yet again, because Liverpool, although they have been superb, but Real Madrid as well, I think we have seen when people have, counted them out, they have come back strongly. They have showed why they have won the most titles, the most Champions Leagues. So I think it will be an intriguing game. I personally I'm not supporting a team, but if I have to pick one winner between the two, I will pick Real Madrid, because Liverpool, given all the things that they have and the supporters that they have, if they win the Champions League, I think the wall of the the wall of the earth will gonna break. So I will go with Real Madrid because even if you compare the teams, although the teams the quality is quite balanced, but I want Real Madrid to win, and I think they're gonna nick it as well.
Okay, what's your correct score prediction?
I'll go with Real Madrid 3, Liverpool 2. I'll go 3-2 Real Madrid.
Okay, that'll be some game. Let's hope it is a really good game. And it'll be the last game of the season. It's been such a good season. We've seen the title race, top 4 battles being close, the relegation battle, we're in the relegation as well. So Burnley went down, Leeds managed to survive.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think everybody expected Leeds to go down because the way they were playing, and given they had to better the result of Burnley at the end because their goal difference was so inferior. And I think again, Burnley, Newcastle has inflicted us a top 4 a Champions League, and they have inflicted Burnley a relegation. So you can see again, even though they didn't have the best of the seasons, Newcastle, you can see the addition of quality players and injection of money in proper players. They have made some indirect dents at the end of at the end half of the season. So I think that speaks that if you invest properly, you are gonna get the results sooner or later. So I'm okay with Leeds, surviving because they play a better brand of football than Burnley. In case of Burnley, it's almost 50-50. You play football 50 half, and you play WWE other half. So I'm happy that Leeds have survived because given the history that they have, given the brand of football they were playing under Bielsa, and even the way they played against us at our home, even after going down to 10 men. So it shows that I'm happy that Leeds have survived. I'm not against that. For Burnley, tough luck, and for Norwich and for Watford, tough luck for them as well. But again, we were gonna see Fulham again next season. So yeah, it's gonna be fun next season, I believe. Fulham, I think, and another team who is back. West Brom is back as well. West Brom are back.
Yeah.
West Brom and another team of the playoffs will be coming up. I'm not sure who they're gonna be. I think who are they among there?
Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest and Huddersfield are in the playoff final.
Okay. They will be playing the final. They'll be playing the playoff final.
Yeah, final. The winner.
Yeah, I hope Forest comes up. I hope Forest comes up. They're a decent side. Another team.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they're in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. Last season we saw Leeds coming back after a long time, and this season we may gonna see Nottingham Forest coming back. So it won't be bad for the Premier League. It will be decent for the Premier League to have all these players instead of all those Burnleys and the Stoke Cities that we used to have. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I'm disappointed in one thing. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna hide, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm very disappointed that we have let go of Konstantinos Mavropanos. The guy who was playing for Stuttgart and saved them from relegation. He's a top player, and we have let him go for 3 million. We brought him. He was one of the final signings of Arsene Wenger in the 2017-18 season, along with Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan and those players. So I think he's going to be a top player. I think we have missed out another player in him. Here we have let him go for just 3 million. He's a top player.
Yeah, unfortunately, our transfer business has been bad for a long time. Not in just terms of bringing players in, but the way we let players go. Situation with players' contracts running down, letting them go for small fees. This seems to be another example of that. So let's hope we start sorting that out because it's such a bad business model. Yeah, we've seen it with Aubameyang, bought him for 50 million, let him go for 3. We've seen it in the past with the likes of Sanchez and Percy. We let players like that go for little money.
And we're going to see that soon with Lacazette as well, my friend.
Yeah, that's another one, letting him run down his contract, and Ketia as well. So it's been really unorganized, I think, for a long time, the way we do our transfer business. It's like I say, it's nothing new. It's gone back in Rema Nasri as well. Nasri's another
Yeah.
one. You know, the contract situation with him, he ended up going to Man City. So yeah, we really need to get better with the way we do our transfer dealings. The positive is last summer, we did, as we talked about earlier, got some really good players in. You know, 4 outstanding signings, you say, out of the 6. So that's positive. Hopefully we can continue that this summer, but we just got to sort out the way we're dealing with our contracts, our contract renewals, where we're negotiating, and hopefully we get a really good summer transfer window again, get a lot of good players in. In terms of available money, we heard Arteta say this, we haven't got unlimited money, but we should have a fair bit to spend. You know, we have trimmed down the squad. Like he did mention that we've trimmed down a lot of players in the squad. The wage bill's a lot less. So yeah, let's see. I look forward to discussing that all with you on our next show.
Sure, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that as well because this is a crucial transfer window for us. I was repeatedly saying that this is a make or break season for us, and I still believe it was. We have missed out a huge opportunity to get into the Champions League, but we still have another season because we still have all these young kids who are just developing, and maybe next season we're going to see all of them in full flames, the likes of Saka, the Martinellis, the Emil Smith Rose, and even the likes of Odegaards and Ramsdales, all of these players. So let's hope for the best. With a few decent additions, I think we can be a top team at least who can be regularly in the top 4 and in the coming seasons challenge for the Premier League title.
Yeah, so that's all from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.